Hello everybody and welcome to the 11th video in our series of videos on the Middle Ages. As always, we begin with our learning outcomes, so by the end of this presentation you guys should know what a merchant is, you guys should know the importance of the trade to the Italian city-states, and finally you guys should know what the Hanseatic League is and what was traded on it. Today we are going to look at the second video on trading in the Middle Ages. In the previous video we looked at trade in everyday life in the towns, and today we are going to look at the merchants and traders and some of the large networks they set up. Trade was an integral part of European life. It was economic concerns that were at the heart of the 100 Years conflict, which we've looked at in previous videos. And we will start today by looking at the Italian city-states. Italy at the time, it was not a unified country. It was a collection of cities that controlled the area around them. For example, you had places like Genoa, you had places like Milan and Venice here also. Um, a merchant is somebody whose job is to buy and sell products in large amounts, especially by trading with other territories or countries. Now, the urban merchants of the Italian city-states like Genoa and Venice and Milan, they began to become these huge financial centres as they brought in products from Asia and North Africa, which gave them immense wealth. They would import things like silk and spices into Europe and export things like wool and wine. But why did this happen in the Italian city-states? Well, first of all, it was the geography of Italy was great for trade, for seafaring trading. They had large coastlines, as you can see here, with access to the Mediterranean Sea, which allowed them to trade large amounts of products with the rich Islamic merchants of the Middle East. However, the big reason was that there was a demand for products from the Islamic world and items from India and China that could only reach Europe through these Islamic traders at the Middle East. The demand was partially brought about by the Crusades, as European wars on the Holy Land during the Crusades brought them into contact with the more technologically advanced and resource-rich kingdoms of the Middle East. Remember, during the Fourth Crusade, the Venetians actually hijacked the Crusade to help them deal with competition in Croatia. Also, the city-state of Genoa set up a very famous trading post at Galata, right across from the great city of Constantinople. Also, the rise of the Mongol Empire in the 13th century or the 1200s also created a vast network of trade routes in Asia, making trading safer. Due to the increase in trade, modern day banking and financial services had their start in the Italian city-states. The other great European trading network was the Hanseatic League. This league operated from Bruges here all the way up onto Riga, while also they had centres as far apart as Novgorod here and also in London in England. They primarily transported timber, wheat, and wax. And the Hanseatic League was it was a merchant union that between many of the great trading cities in Northern Europe. So in our last video, we looked at guilds, which were you know, associations of people from the same trade who set the rules for the trade and maintained standards. Well, these merchants set up guilds as well, and these trading guilds in these cities dominated trade along Northern Europe. It began in 1241 with the alliance between the guilds of Lupiec and Hamburg, and they had pretty much a monopoly on trade in Northern Europe. In fact, they became so rich that they were able to put their money together to pay for military protection for its members from threats such as Vikings or the Vikings' descendants in Scandinavia. And these trading organizations and the rules that they brought about laid the foundation for the modern financial world which we live in. So that brings us to the end of our presentation. So by now you guys should know what a merchant is. You guys should know the importance of trade, the Italian city-states, and finally you guys should know what the Hanseatic League is and what was traded on. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys got something good from this video.